Y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by, y'all. This time change is killing me. I mean, killing me. Let me tell you what's up. So first of all, dogs do not observe time change. So like Felon Daisy don't care. She's just chill. She'll do whatever you tell her to do. But Felon Bo is like, I have a schedule. I have to eat at a certain time and I need my medicines at a certain time. So why are you doing stuff all at different times? He does not know, and waking up. Like he cannot get his little brain around waking up an hour off from when he's used to waking up. So we got that going for us. And y'all know I teach and I tutor. And the students that I teach and tutor are all over the country and all over the world. So some of my students have had time change. Some don't observe time change at all. And some observe time change but have not done so yet. So I got to keep up with all that mess. So parts of my schedule have changed and other parts of my schedule have not changed. And then for parts of my schedule, like my time has changed, but my schedule does not change. So those students just sort of like float about my schedule. Oh, I know, y'all, it is a hot mess in a party dress. So let me tell you what we're going to do this week. We're going to do some comfort reading. We are going to go hang out with some of our favorite serial killers. We're going to Cape Carnage, I think it is. So this is a reread for me. It is Taurus season. I hope y'all can see that. I have a handful of hair, so I can't mess with the focus. But it's the first book in the, I can never remember, is it the Camp Carnage trilogy? I don't remember. Anyway, it's Brynn Weaver, who wrote, of course, Butcher and Blackbird, which is my very favorite serial killer love story. And I read Taurus season when it first came out. Well, I got it when it first came out. I read it a little minute after that. But I'm going to reread it because, so this is Taurus season. Harvest season is, it just occurred to me what, oh my word. They're serial killers and it's called harvest season. Sorry, my nose is a little runny. So, well, it says right there, Seasons of Carnage trilogy is what it's called. The trilogy is called Seasons of Carnage. So we're going to reread Taurus season. Well, we're going to read it together. We're going to have our first read together, but it's a reread for me. And I am so excited because y'all, I'm so tired and I'm so outside my head right now. So I'm going to tell you a couple of things. Oh, okay, yes, the Ruinous Love trilogy, that's the Butcher and Blackbird one. I'm going to tell you a couple of things, but then I'm going to go read and I'm going to think about what I'm going to tell you, because if you've read any Brynn Weaver, you know that, I mean, all stories develop as you read them, which I was going to say the story develops as you read it, duh, but the sort of the interesting bits, like they sort of tease out as you're reading. So there are some really interesting bits I could tell you right now, but then you'd be like, okay, well, so then why am I going to read this thing? So I'm going to think about what I'm going to tell you, but let me tell you this. So Harper is our FMC, and she lives in this little bitty oceanside town of Cape Carnage, Maine. And I mean, it's all that, y'all, it's called Cape Carnage. Yeah, imagine in a Brynn Weaver book what that looks like. So yeah, they play up the whole carnage thing, and it's tourist season. Is it like, I want to say tourist, but I feel like that's like hitting the U too hard, and it's a diphthong, so it should be tourist. Is that truly a diphthong? Is that a one vowel? So anyway, I'm gonna say tourist season, and if y'all are bothered by that, then just move on. I know I'm the only one having issues with, I told y'all. I'm going to try to take a nap this afternoon and be a little less of this. But so it's tourist season in Cape Carnage, and all the things that you would think that would entail, oh, it entails. So Harper is our FMC. And when we first, like when the book opens, when we first meet her, I believe, I need to go read because I haven't like started it again yet, but I believe that she and her wood chipper Cookie Monster are dealing with an issue. And again, in a Brynn Weaver book, you can imagine what that looks like. So let me go, I'm gonna get on the bike, I'm gonna ride and read, and I'll be back later after a shower and maybe a nap and tell you a little more about what we know about the book. And I will have thought then like by then I will have thought through what I can tell you. All right. So y'all have a good morning. I'm going to go ride my bike and I'll be back. Friends, we've been banished to the office. The poor intern, I don't know if you can hear, but the intern is downstairs watching TV because he is homesick. And he has zero tolerance for being sick. And the only thing he has less tolerance for than being sick is me fussing around him when he's sick. So we decided the best thing for his recuperation and for our relationship was for me to come upstairs to my office and mind my own business and do some work while he is downstairs recuperating. I think he actually went to the doctor, and she said maybe it's a sinus infection, don't really know, but here's some stuff to take. So he got him some fried chicken at the Super One, and he was posted up on the couch drinking some clear liquid and watching, I don't even know what, but I can hear gunfire in the background. So I believe he is fine. And as much as I want to judge what he is watching, I can't, because I came here to talk to y'all about our serial killer romance that we're reading. So did I tell y'all? Y'all know they're serial killers, right? Well, so I hate calling our friends serial killers because I feel like a serial killer is a bad guy. And our friends really only kill folks that need killing. Like we've talked about, can y'all see them right there? Butcher and Blackbird. So they definitely only kill people who need killing, but I guess they really are serial killers because the dude is they have serial killer names. They're the Butcher of Boston and the Orb Weaver. They're serial killers. But they only kill people that need killing. They kill other serial killers. So, but that we're not reading those books. We are reading Tourist Season. And I told y'all when we meet Harper, or like at the very beginning of the book, Harper is feeding a dead dude into her wood chipper that she has named Cookie Monster. But again, she only kills folks that need killing. So we've met Harper. She lives in Cape Carnage, this little like beach town in Maine. And she works for this old dude, this rich old guy, lives on his property. And I'm picking out details in my head, helping him to protect Cape Carnage. That's what we can know about that. We've also met Nolan, who has come to town, and now Nolan is looking for someone. And okay, we're close to where I'm going to stop telling y'all stuff. But let me tell you this. The characters are so very interesting, of course. And the way that Brynn Weaver introduces the settings is so interesting. Like, you know, she doesn't just do like a narrative, oh, this is Cape Carnage and it's like blah, blah, the town looks like this and here are the streets and here's this. Like, Harper just met a dude at the coffee shop, and I think he asked her to take him on like he's new in town, he's a tourist, and he asked her to show him around. So she's going to show him around, and so we're going to learn some things about the town as they walk around, and she just happens to have a shin bone in her bag. He's like, what's that? And she tells him it's a meatball sandwich, because they're at the coffee shop, and he asks what's good, and she said, huh? And he said, what'd you get? And he points to the shin bone wrapped in tin foil in her bag. So she's like, meatball sub. But anyway, so the point being that, so we learn about like the town, and like we meet people through, like we meet characters in the town as they run into them. Or like Harper will point out there's a shop in town where a curio craft shop, like where you can do some interesting craft. Y'all, stop asking me questions. I'm not going to tell you these things because it's interesting when you like learn about them as you read the book. But look, if you're like squeegee at all, like if you're like freaked out about really anything, Brynn Weaver's not for you. And yeah, I was going to say this one more than the others. No, like we ate people in Butcher and Blackbird. So That one is probably a little, I'm very close to y'all, sorry. I don't love this setup, but my office, everything is kind of like this. So we probably won't hang out here long. But anyway, what was I even saying? That, yeah, if you're, there's like the whole, there are a lot of trigger warnings in all of her books. And they're not, I mean, they're kind of funny, but they're really not jokes. So yeah, if you're like squirmish about, say, I don't know, putting a body through a wood chipper, this might not be the one for you, but it is very funny. And yeah, our friends are serial killers. If you can't be friends with a serial killer, this isn't the one for you. But if you can, it is. And again, it's very small town. I know, y'all, are y'all like, is she even reading this book? She's told us nothing. I know, here's the problem. I read it before and now I'm reading it again. And I know from reading it before that all of these things sort of build on each other. And it's very good and very interesting, but it would be taking away from your enjoyment of the book if I tell you them. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to tell you why I'm enjoying reading it, not like what I'm enjoying about it. So for instance, I'm about, I don't know, I read about 100 pages because I rode the bike and then I did some things and I had a little while to read, waiting for the intern to come home. So I am enjoying very much that, because when I read it before, I loved it, but now I can sort of think about why I like it because I'm no longer reading for content. Now I'm reading for analysis. I know that's like the most like literature teacher thing I think I've ever said, but I am enjoying the way that Brynn Weaver builds the town. Like I said, like you discover it with the characters, and it's very interesting that Harper is new to town too. So she was new. She's been there like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. So she has sort of a newcomer's appreciation for Cape Carnage. But at the same time, she's very, very protective of it because the old dude, her landlord old dude, like best friend, like that's his, like life's, not ambition, but like that's his life's devotion. Like that's his, wait, not vocation, his avocation is protecting Cape Carnage. So she's sort of inherited that from him. So she has like the newcomer's like bright-eyed vision of Cape Carnage, but she also has this very protective feeling towards the town. So it's really interesting watching her introduce Nolan to these different things and show him different parts of the town, all the while trying to hide the fact that she's got a shin bone in her bag. So it's very fabulous. So that's all I'm going to tell you so far. I'm going to go because can y'all hang on? Y'all hear that? Felon Beau. You know he is, I thought he was going to stay downstairs with his daddy. He jumped up on the couch with his daddy and like snuggled for a minute. And then next thing I know, he's like smacking on my door to come into the office. He cannot be far away from me, lest I have something that needs eating, that he can be here to eat it. So anyway, I'm gonna get up off here because I'm about to have a class to teach, but I will have more time later to read after I teach, do some homework, write my devotional for tomorrow, then I can read some more. So I might be back later this evening, probably not, because y'all know how I get with the light. But you know what? It's daylight saving time. The light will be light later, so maybe I will see y'all later. And if not, I will definitely see you tomorrow, all right? So I will see y'all at some point. Friends, as you can see, we are still banished to the office. It is tomorrow. I did not make it back yesterday, but I did get a lot of reading done because, did I tell y'all we were having a little springtime? We were having like false spring. It was nice out. It was warm. The snow was melting. Then the snow came back. So I went out today. I shoveled some snow, but I have, on account of the winter being back, it being snowy, I have been inside the house all day long, and the intern is here because he's still sick. So I've had lots of time to read, and I've had some thoughts. I've been doing some thinking, and here's what I think. So I know I told y'all about that Harper is our female main character, and I told you Nolan is our male main character. Well, I don't think I told you that Nolan was a victim of a hit and run accident. So he's been trying to like solve the whole who did the hitting and the running. And that's why he's in Cape Carnage. Like he's there to sort of like track down some folks and solve the whole thing. Well, Harper So like he's got that whole background thing happening. Well, Harper also has some like background baggage going on. And I mean, of course, it's the FMC and the MMC, so they're, they're going to end up, but so they both have these like very like broken parts with jagged edges, and their broken parts and jagged edges end up like starting to get together. And it's really interesting. I noticed this yesterday. Well, let me back up. So y'all may not know this, but I have an possibly unhealthy obsession. I've had this for decades. Well, let me finish what I'm saying and then I will back up. Unhealthy obsession with what used to be televangelists. Like I used to watch televangelists back like when I was because I studied religion in college. So back during my like college studying religion days, I would watch televangelists for hours. Well, now there's like so much of it on the interwebs. And there's a dude out in Seattle that I am obsessed with. He is a Pentecostal. He's like just this side of snake handling. And I love him. Like I was going to say I could listen to him for hours. I listened to him for hours. And he was talking one day about the decisions people make and like decisions we can make that change our lives. And he said, I've heard him actually talk about this in a couple of different sermons, but he was talking about how there's a point in your life when you stop looking like your parents and you start looking like your decisions. And another time he said, you stop looking like your past and you start looking like your decisions. And it just struck me as I know, right? Like this Pentecostal preacher's teachings strike me as I'm reading this serial killer love story. But it really did. Like it struck me that there's a point in the story where the characters don't really... So their decisions and their actions are molded a lot or influenced a lot by their past, by things that have happened to them and things that have been done to them. And there's a point in the story where where it gradually starts to become less that and more like decisions that they're actually making for themselves. Like Nolan is no longer as much being influenced by his obsession with finding this person, and it's more about something else. And Harper's decisions and things that she's doing become less about things that have happened to her in her past and more about this other thing as well. And it's just really interesting the point at which that happens for both of them. And then some twists and turns happen. But I just thought it was really, I don't know, that just really struck me yesterday. That, and I absolutely believe it's true that at some point you have to stop allowing yourself to be controlled by things that have happened to you and take control of it yourself and start like driving your future with your own decisions as opposed to being a victim of things that have happened to you anyway. So that's where I am. I don't even know if that made any sense, but so let me stop preaching at you. But I'm actually almost done with this. I'm going to finish it. I'm not going to come back and say any more before I finish it because I'm trying to be super careful, obviously, and not tell you too much. But I am absolutely loving it. I do need to tell you that it is spicy. I don't know if I have said that before, and I keep thinking, I need to tell the folks that this is spicy. If you know Brynn Weaver at all, you know it's spicy. And I keep trying to compare in my head, is this as like serial killer sex spicy as Butcher and Blackbird? But it does not matter. It is open door spice. Hard stop. Like it just is. So, and as I said before, if you're, hang on, let me show you. Does this one have it? I know, no. Okay. Butcher and Blackbird, this might not be a collector's edition. The Butcher and Blackbird, like on the inside of the dust jacket, has the trigger warnings because it's just fun. But hang on, I'm not going to read you the trigger warnings because even the trigger warnings can be triggering, I think. But yeah, here are the content and trigger warnings for this thing. I mean, it's kind of a joke, but it's really not a joke. Like all of these things are things. So if you feel triggerable or triggery, most def check those because there are some, I mean, there's like the open door, like spice, but there's also some really graphic other stuff. Like I said, we start the book by feeding a dude into a wood chipper. So, but I mean, if you're going into a Brynn Weaver serial killer book, I mean, you got to be expecting some crunchiness. So anyway, that's what I know for now. I'm going to finish reading it before I come back. I got to go teach some classes and do wash, rinse, repeat from yesterday. I got to teach some classes, do some stuff. I think I'm going to make meatloaf for the intern, try to get him to eat something that's not fried chicken. But I'm not healthy. I'm not going to necessarily try to get him to eat healthy, just something that's not. You know what? I just heard something that I thought was the FedEx dropping off my Yankee Candle order, but I think it might. I ordered Walmart because I needed hamburger to make meatloaf for the intern. So that might actually have been my Walmart. I got to go downstairs and see what just got here. So anyway, I'm going to do some things. I'm going to finish reading this, and then I'm going to start reading something else that's not serial killer and slashery. So I'll be back, I'm sure, tomorrow, because I'm going to cook and then clean and then eat and then go to bed, because I'm not going to fuss anymore about daylight saving time because everybody knows, but I'm going to finish this, cook, clean, eat, and go to bed, and then I will see y'all tomorrow. All right. So I'll be back tomorrow. We'll talk about some more serial killer stuff, and then we'll start another book. All right, so I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all, look, we are unbanished from the office, which is great news for a couple of reasons. One, well, it's tomorrow, first of all. It's tomorrow and we are unbanished, which is great news because, one, we're unbanished, and two, it means the intern is feeling better. He has unposted up from on the couch. He has gone to work. And I finished Taurus season, which I got to tell you about that. And we're about to start a new book, but I got to tell you some other stuff first. I have some good news and some bad news. So the good news is really good news. Y'all remember I told you that my neurologist, so I get migraines, and I'm on a preventative medication, which works very, very well, but I have to go to the neurologist once a year to get them to rewrite my prescription for said preventative medication. Well, up until very recently, my neurologist was like 10 minutes down the hill. So that was like easy peasy lemon squeezy, make the appointment, go, sit down, chit chat with my neurologist for 5 minutes, and Bob's your uncle, out the door, everything's done. Well, my dang neurologist moved up the road to Floodwood, which is it's like a 45-minute drive from here. I know. So that's like, I know. I was going to say it's an all-day adventure. It's really not. It's like 5 days of me being dramatic about making the appointment, and then I make the appointment, and it's, an hour and a half round trip for a 5-minute appointment. So, of course, I waited until I was about slap out of my prescription, because you gotta, like you'd go to refill it and they call your doctor and the doctor gives you like 1 month of refills and says, you better get your butt in here, I'm not refilling it anymore. Yeah, that kind of party. But my doctor won't refill it, won't give you that month of courtesy refills until you make an appointment. So I was like, let me make this appointment. So I called her office this morning and I'm like, chitter chatter. And the appointment person was like, all right, so do you want an in-person appointment? And I was like, wait, what? I said, can we do it telemed? Because if so, yes, please. So yeah, y'all, I don't have to go to, and so I was like, I had worked myself all up in my head, all right, I can film this on the way to Floodwood, and then in Floodwood, I can do a shopping in Floodwood, and we can maybe go thrifting books or something to actually make use of my time in Floodwood, acting like it was this big trip into the outback that was going to take me a month, and that I needed to make use of the time or everything was just going to implode. I know, y'all, I don't know if y'all know this, but I can be a bit dramatic. But yeah, so all that's done and over with. I have a telemed appointment next Wednesday at 1:30 with my doctor, which I will do from upstairs at my desk. And yeah, that's all the drama there. So that's the good news. Here's the bad news. Hang on, let me show y'all this. I know y'all are like, don't try to move things. Relax, Linda. Check this out. Oh, I even turned the correct way the first time. Can y'all see all that mess on my floor? Yeah, that's all the mess that should be up. Oh, is that actually going to work? That's all the mess that should be. Nope, it's not going to work. Up under my sink. Oh, You know why? Because I closed my sink. Hang on. That's all the mess that should be in here. There we go. That would have worked better if I'd left the cabinet open. It's there on the floor because my sink has a jam. What's it called? A clog. We have a clog in our sink. So yesterday, again, the intern wasn't feeling well, so he made himself some tomato. Now I'm cutting off my own head. I know. Y'all are like, stop moving things. I know. I know. All right, right there. We're going to leave that alone there. No, we're not. There we go. We're going to leave it alone there. So the intern made himself some tomato soup while I was washing the pot later, and I went to like garbage disposal. No, I'd made some eggs. I was garbage disposaling eggshells. And it went down the garbage disposal side and then came right straight back up the other side. And I was like, that's no bueno. So I'm here at the sink and the intern, hang on, I'm going to just turn y'all's whole self. The intern was right there sitting on the couch. And I did not want the intern to hear what I was up to. So I'm like trying to do it all like quiet, and it was like, rrr, rrr, and then blub, 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 vrr, vrr, blub, blub, blub. Well, he was watching TV, not paying a lick of attention to what I was doing. Well, then like it kept not going down. So I walked by him and he kind of looked at me, and I walked into our bedroom to get the plunger out of the bathroom. So I came back out with a toilet plunger in my hand and just walking like it's just, any old day in the neighborhood. So I like plunged the sink, and there was this like symbiotic relationship between the two things. Like one would go up and one would go down, and then the other would go down, like up, like they just kept doing this. Which honestly, these sinks do that from time to time anyway. Like when I do the garbage disposal, if I disposal too much stuff, it comes up the other sink, and you just got to give it a little minute and then the whole thing goes down. Well, there was no whole thing going down this time. So after like plunging, finally I had to tell the intern like the sink is backed up and I cannot get it to clear. So he came over and like tried to do it, couldn't get it to go. Well, so he sent me upstairs to get another plunger, and he had me like cover one sink and he like plunged the other one. So we were like fighting with the thing, couldn't do it. So finally he said, yeah, pretty much now we've just managed to like jam the clog way down in there. So he's got a plumber guy that works with his company. So he's going to send Johnny out today. So I had to clean out the under of the sink and wash my dishes in my laundry room. I know, but yeah, so that's what's happening. I know, that was like a 10-minute story about absolutely nothing. But anyway, I have finished tourist season. Y'all, it's so good. So I told you about the Nolan and Harper have like gotten over themselves and decided to stop being driven by their past and sort of make decisions working towards a future. And then something happened. So huge cliffhanger, super excited because something that we thought we knew all the way through is just not. That's all I'm going to say. That's it. The end. So good. Better the second time. So I've said this before, but the way that I read Brynn Weaver books, like the way that I want to make sure that wasn't the intern telling me the plumber's on the way. The way that I read Butcher and Blackbird, you know that game you play as a kid where it's like, I'm going camping and I'm going to take an apple. And it's, like a little circle game. And then the next person says, I'm going camping and I'm going to take an apple and a banana. Going camping and I'm going to take an apple, a banana, and some citrus fruit. And you have to like add. Well, that's how I read Brynn Weaver books. Like I read Butcher and Blackbird. And then when Leather and Lark came out, I read Butcher and Blackbird and Leather and Lark. And then when Scythe and Sparrow came out, I read Butcher and Blackbird, Leather and Lark, and Scythe and Sparrow. So for tourist season, of course, I read that one first. Well, then when harvest season comes out, this was a reread so that I can read harvest season. I might do it again. I might reread tourist season before I read harvest season because it's so, so good. And it was actually better the second time. So it might be better the third time. I don't know, we'll see, but I'm about to get on the bike. And I'm going to start, I've decided, I'm going to start from our TBR, what's her name? Hang on. Devney Perry. So I think I forgot to mention, so Bluebird Gold is on our TBR. And we read, so over Christmas, no, I think it was last Christmas, we read a Devney Perry book. And I liked it, but the end kind of fell apart for me. And so then we read the Sparrow book, sort of the Sparrow, whatever it was. And I loved it. And I'm obsessed with Devney Perry because I love her book covers. I actually own another one of her books, which I haven't read yet, just because I love her book covers. So we're going to read Bluebird. I think it's called Bluebird Gold. I don't know anything about it. Something about a girl goes and, yes, we do know about it. Our female main character's daddy died, and she has to go to Montana, probably back to where she grew up, to clean out his cabin, and learns things about her daddy and ends up teaching there. So we get like school drama and teacher drama and cabin drama. I know that's literally nothing. I know nothing. So let me go get on the bike. Let me ride and read. Fell and Bo sitting right there staring at me like, you've been talking. We need to go in the garage and sleep, so let's go. So let me go. I'm going to go ride and read. I'll be back later. I got to deal with all of this like plumber business. So I'll be back at some point, let y'all know how my plumber business goes, and let you know how the book is. Let you know what, I don't even know that that's really what happens in this book. So I'm going to get to reading, figure out what it's really about, and then I'll check back in, let you know how things are going here, and let you know what the book is about, all right? So I'll be back in a while with various updates, so y'all sit tight, and I'll be back. All right, y'all. Here's what's up. First of all, the intern is back. I'm not sure. I think he's like half sick. He went to work and then he came home. He's going to blow some snow. So he might be like drifting in and out. But a couple things. I read some, so I need to tell y'all about Bluebird Gold. But I also need to tell you about this amazingness. So y'all know of my obsession with tea from the Tea Spot. Well, couple maybe 3 weeks ago, I got an email from the Tea Spot because of course I'm a member of like their obsessed with tea club people thing, which just means I spend too much money on tea and I get points from them. So I get an email that says, there's a bunch of teas y'all love that are retired. Which one do you love the most? And there were 3 to choose from, and one of them was chocolate mint truffle. Chocolate mint truffle, which was my first favorite tea ever. Now, I think it might be a close second now to pumpkin spice chai, but it's very good and it's been retired for a while. So I blew that one up. Well, the vote went on for a little while, and after a little minute, they sent out an email and said, you spoke, we listened, we're bringing back chocolate mint truffle for a limited run. They said, we're going to make as much as we possibly can, whatever, but it's limited time. So, and you know, they said, we're letting y'all know first because, you know, you're our super favorite people, but like it'll be released at such and such a time on such and such a date. Well, y'all know I'm slightly time zone impaired, and they're mountain time. And I'm Central Time, but I still think I'm Eastern Time because I still think of myself as living in Georgia. So you can imagine how that day went. But anyway, of course, I ordered me some chocolate mint truffle, which is what I'm drinking. This is my first cup. It just came today. And I didn't unbox it with y'all so that I could spare y'all shaming me for how many pounds of chocolate mint truffle I bought. But oh my word, is it good. It's black tea and chocolate in it. It's like, and I'm pointing over there like y'all can see the Girl Scout cookies. The intern buys Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies. Airtime a Girl Scout comes within like 10 miles of our house. He buys Thin Mints from them. And I promise you, if I eat one of those cookies, I eat every single one of them, so I don't eat them. But this seriously tastes like a Thin Mint Girl Scout cookie. It is so, so good. So I bought multiple pounds of it because they said when it's gone, and I have learned to believe that from the Tea Spot. When they sell something out, they just sell it out. So I'm thrilled. I have my tea and I have my new book, which I've been reading. So we are reading Bluebird Gold by Devney Perry, and it is it's pretty much what we said it was going to be. We are in Montana. Y'all, this is so good. I'm going to put it down, stop drinking in y'all's faces, or in your ears, more to the point. It's in Montana, little bitty town in Montana. I said, every time we talk about Montana, I'm like, is it all small towns in Montana? I think it might be. Our main character, Isla, either Ilsa or Isla, has come to empty out her daddy's cabin. And she's already been there for a little minute when we get there. She's already working. She's teaching math at the high school on like a temporary assignment. And Cossie, is it Cossie Rains, or am I making up that name? His name is Cossie for sure, is the sheriff. And so Isla, I'm going to call her Isla. That's what her name is in my head, so that's what I'm going to call her. Is staying at her daddy's cabin out like on this remote lake, and like scary things are starting to happen. And okay, yeah, I was trying to think of how much I'm going to tell y'all. Here's all I'm going to tell you is, so her daddy he's been gone. He's passed away a while ago, and she's starting to get inclinations that his death wasn't what it seemed to have been. And so now the sheriff is involved, and the sheriff is a hottie, and his son is, I think he's a freshman in high school. He's in Isla's, her name is not Isla, it's Ilsa, something, female main character. His son is in her class, and he's actually a nice boy. So we kind of get those like both interactions, like the hot sheriff interacting with the like new female in town, and the dad interacting with the teacher. It's very good. And here's what I'm finding really interesting about the thing is it's set in the 80s. So it's adding an element that I didn't really think about, like there are no cell phones. So when something happens, there's not that convenience of like picking up your phone, or you can't just like Google something. Like if you think of something, you can't just Google it. Like, you know, it's back in the days of like microfiche and doing actual research. So it adds that element of like things aren't like instant. I was going to say automatic. It's not automatic. Things aren't instant. Like you have to kind of work for stuff, which is really interesting. Like you forget about that. So like I said, the kid, I think it's like 1986, which was my junior year of high school. So, I mean, the kid's a freshman, but kind of same. I mean, when you're my age, kind of same. So, you know, the kid's 2 years younger than what I would have been then. But it's just interesting to look back on that from so many years later, like looking back on that time period. It's very interesting, but it's very well written. The characters are fantastic. And I mean, we're developing a little mystery here. So I'm absolutely adoring the town. Like I said, I think, so we read what is it? We read the Shield of Sparrows, or Sparrows and the whatever it was, that like fantasy romance book of Devney Perry's, and then the Christmas one. But that one, I think the Christmas one might have been a novella. Like it was the employee was stuck in the hotel with the boss or something. I can't remember. But it was like there wasn't a whole lot of plot development, not a whole lot of character development. And I think, was it the Edens? That just flashed into my head. Like maybe it was the Christmas novella that went along with the Edens series or something. I don't know. But it was one of those like, readers of her books already knew the characters, so there wasn't a whole lot of development there. This is not that. Here we are meeting characters, and we're like getting to know the town, and it's very good. Very interesting. I know I've told you nothing. Y'all, I'm so outside my head with excitement over this tea. I don't know that I have much to tell, and I'm excited the intern's home, even though he's not feeling well. So I'm gonna go. I gotta work some more. But and did I say this before that I think this is gonna be a quick read? I think it's gonna be a very quick read. I'm like a third of the way through it, and I really just started. So something is developing with the death of the dad. I will tell you this: there have been like creepers around the cabin, and I'm just gonna commit to calling her Isla. I don't think that's right though. But I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. I'm in. Isla is what I'm calling her. Until I go back and read it again a little, I'm going to be like, that's not even, those letters aren't even in that order. I know. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So she like heard or saw somebody creeping around the cabin and called the popo for help, and they came and there were like no footprints or anything. So I don't know if Devney Perry does like ghosty stuff, but I'm on the lookout for that. Like maybe it's the ghost of the dad or something. I don't know. We definitely have the dead dad as kind of a character in the thing because they were, now I'm saying too much. All I'm going to say is they were estranged. So she's struggling with guilt from that. So I wonder if, without knowing nothing about nothing, I wonder if the person she's like hearing or seeing creeping around the cabin is something to do with the dead dad. Like a specter of the dad or something. I don't know. But anyway, all right, let me go. I'm going to try to help the intern with the snow, but I'm probably going to just end up getting in his way and get banished. But let me go. I got to teach some classes. I'm going to read some more. I'll probably just be back tomorrow and wrap this thing up because I feel like I've already told you too much. So y'all have a great day. Read great books, and I will see you soon. Friends. It is early in the morning and I'm slightly miserable because, wait for it, I know. I stayed up too late last night reading books, but I'm so miserable. I finished Bluebird Gold. It was so, can y'all hear that dog snoring? It's so early. I thought I had class at 5. But it's not till 5:30. So remember I told y'all my early classes, they don't do time change. So my classes, it used to be at 4 and 4:30. Now they're at 5 and 5:30. So, but the felons still think they eat at like the early time. So we still get up early so I like can get stuff done in the morning. But anyway, I stayed up last night and finished that book. And did I tell y'all I thought we had a mystery developing? Oh, y'all. We had full on mystery. We had like buried treasure. We had treasure maps. We had scoundrels. We had pirates' booty. We had all kinds of stuff. We had murderers. And of course, I had no idea who the bad guy was, but it was so good. And let me tell you this. Okay, yeah, I can tell you this. It was like a surprise bad guy, but it wasn't the kind of surprise bad guy that like just shows up out of nowhere and becomes the surprise bad guy. Like the surprise bad guy is there under your nose the whole time. You just don't realize it's what it is until it becomes what it is. So yeah, it was so good. And I'm 100% a Devney Perry fan, not just because I like the covers of her books anymore. Now I actually like, and I have read more than, now I've read, I was going to say two, now I've read 3 of her books. We read the Christmas book, the romantasy book, and now this just full on, well, it's like a mystery book. But yeah, so we can check off fans of Devney Perry under our reading profile. I just made all that up. Y'all, I'm tired. I'm going to let y'all go. But I wanted to check in and let you know that I finished the book and it's very good. And I absolutely recommend. So that is it. That's all I got for you. I hope y'all are all having a great day. I hope you're a little less miserable than I am this morning. And let us know. What are you reading? And I'm not even going to talk about what I'm planning to read because I'm too tired to think about it. So what are you reading? And what do you have coming up? Let us know in the comments. And y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me through this entire adventure. If you made it this far, we are most definitely friends. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I upload food and fitness videos over on Fit Danielle Eats the beginning of every week, with some book videos over here sprinkled in between. And I do a daily devotional over on Fit Danielle Reads. So if I don't see you on one of those, I'll catch you on the next one.